It's a pleasure to work with both of you, and I just wish the majority of Congress had a deeper interest in energy. I guess I find it confounding that this is a chart I've been using all year. It doesn't work anymore. This was the rise. This is annualized by year. It doesn't have the spikes that have happened in those years, but this is the annualized figure. And I just find it confounding that last week we were bouncing all over 90, 98, almost 100 one day, and not a word spoken in here about energy. It wasn't a priority. It was not even a discussion on this floor, except for a few of us in 5-minute speeches or hour speeches like tonight talking about it. But it was not, committees not meeting, conference committees not meeting. And I guess the question is, how difficult does it have to get? Because here we're approaching the winter season. People have to heat their homes. 58% of them use gas. I think 30% use electricity. 9% use home heating oil. And then there's a few other mixtures in there. But nobody seems to be concerned. I was a retailer for many years, supermarket operator. And I remember back in the 70s and 80s when we had the energy spikes that were really severe back then. And as a person in the food industry, you would think people would always have money for food. I had 79 and 80 were very difficult years in my business because people didn't have money to spend. See, what we forget about is 50% or maybe 60% of Americans spend every dollar they make every week. They don't have any money in the drawer. They don't have any extra cash in the bank. They spend, and when energy prices spike like this, and especially in rural America where I come from, transportation costs are high in big rural areas. People have to travel to work, travel to church, travel to school, travel for everything. Then when you pay your transportation bill, and then you pay your home heating bill in rural America, again, bigger old farmhouses, not a lot of new housing, not as energy efficient as the new modern housing, and so they have high home heating bills. And when they spend an inordinate amount for home heating and for transportation, then they have less money. And my friend from Illinois was talking about it. I had tough springs. Usually in my business, I was lucky to break even through March. You had to make your profits in the rest of the year. But in those years, it was into May before I cracked into a profit because people didn't have money to buy basic fundamentals, food. I was in the food business because people, and that's what's going to happen in America this year. It could challenge the holiday season because it came as early. I didn't expect $95 oil. I'm going to tell you why. Everybody has told me that if we had a major storm in the Gulf, and we've been very fortunate in America, we haven't had a major storm in the Gulf in 2 years. First time ever we've went that length of time. Everybody has told me this summer when it was 75 or 80, I said, what will a major storm in the Gulf? It'll bring us $100 oil. A couple of weeks ago I asked a gentleman, what would a storm in the Gulf bring us? He said $120 oil. Can we handle $120? I'm not sure. I don't think we can handle $95 oil for a long period of time and keep the economy moving. Because a great amount of our economy is you and I shopping, buying goods, goods and services. And when we have so much money being consumed by energy, it has to come out of our budgets. And those who don't have any extra cash, credit cards will only give them so much, and then they're going to start cutting their spending. I think the thing that's interesting is the prediction for America. We have finally gotten this on a chart that anybody can figure out. Usually you see charts and you have lines going up and down. This is energy usage in America up to now. From this line in the middle to my left is the projection by the Energy Department of what energy we're going to consume in this country. It doesn't change much. Now, I wish this non-hydro renewable line up here was just exploding, this red. That's what we're pinning our future on. Now, I'm for it. We're subsidizing it. People say we're holding it. We're not holding it back. This is the projection of the Department of Energy of what renewables are going to grow. That's wind and solar and geo. That's the mix. Hydros, look at hydro. Because we're not building dams and because dams are still being removed, hydro decreases. Now there's a little bit of growth in nuclear here.